Larry Bird has to be saying, I have an apple, and that apple fell far from the tree. It ain't my apple.
There are sons of NBA legends whose actions have cast long shadows over their fathers' names. Men who built empires on the hardwood, who became symbols of excellence and perseverance, now find their legacies complicated by the choices of their children. Connor Bird, estranged from Larry Bird. Marcus Jordan, invoking Michael Jordan's name in police encounters. Bronny James, pulling LeBron into controversies he never asked for. This is the story of how the next generation didn't just fail to live up to expectations, they actively damaged the reputations their fathers spent decades building. Larry Bird is a name that carries weight. For 13 seasons with the Boston Celtics, from 1979 to 1992, he was the embodiment of basketball excellence. 3 championships, 3 MVP awards, a symbol of toughness, basketball IQ, and the kind of trash talk that became legendary. Bird didn't just play the game, he dominated it with a combination of skill and sheer will that turned him into an icon. His story was one of triumph over adversity, a kid from French Lick, Indiana, who overcame grinding poverty and the trauma of his father's suicide in 1975 to become one of the greatest to ever touch a basketball. And then there was Connor. At first, the warning signs were easy to dismiss. Youthful mistakes, growing pains, the kind of things people chalk up to being young and figuring life out. But what seemed like isolated incidents soon revealed themselves as something else entirely, a pattern that would eventually explode into public view. February 10th, 2013. Connor Bird was 21 years old, a student at Indiana University. An argument with his ex-girlfriend spiraled out of control. Voices rose, tempers flared, and then Connor threw a cell phone. It struck her, causing physical injury. The police were called. He was arrested. By April 2014, the legal machinery had ground to its conclusion. Connor pleaded guilty to misdemeanor criminal recklessness. The battery and marijuana charges were dismissed, but the conditions were clear. 12 months of deferred sentencing, contingent on staying out of trouble, counseling, mentoring, no drugs, no alcohol, no firearms, no ammunition. A second chance, carefully structured and closely monitored, and then Connor Bird disappeared. Not literally, but from public life. No updates, no statements, no attempts to rehabilitate his image or explain what happened. He appears to have chosen privacy, a retreat from the spotlight that his last name guaranteed would never truly leave him alone. But the damage was done. Media outlets turned their attention to Larry Bird himself, questioning his parenting.
I'm Marcus Jordan. I'm Michael Jordan's
question. The Sports Rush didn't mince words, labeling him a failed father. For a man whose entire public identity was built on excellence and control, the implication stung. Larry Bird's legacy on the court remains untouchable, but in the court of public opinion, his son's actions left a mark that won't fully fade. If Larry Bird cast a long shadow, Michael Jordan's is all-consuming. 6 championships, 5 MVP awards, a cultural phenomenon who transcended basketball to become a global icon, the greatest to ever play, according to millions. His children were born into that impossible reality, expected to carry a name that weighs more than most people can comprehend. Marcus Jordan entered the world on December 24th, 1990, in Chicago. By 2006, his parents had divorced, splitting a family that had always existed under intense public scrutiny. Marcus played basketball at Whitney Young High School, even won the 2009 Illinois State Championship. He continued at the University of Central Florida from 2009 to 2013, posting solid but unremarkable numbers. He was good, just not Michael Jordan good, and that distinction would follow him everywhere. The trouble started early. In 2009, while still underage, Marcus was partying at Hayes nightclub inside the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. He didn't just quietly enjoy himself, he tweeted about spending $35,000 in a single night. The Nevada Gaming Control Board launched an investigation. No charges were filed, but the public backlash was swift and brutal. Critics didn't just go after Marcus, they went after Michael Jordan himself, questioning how a parent could raise a child who displayed such staggering irresponsibility. 3 years later, in 2012, Marcus was 21 and in Omaha, Nebraska. An argument with 2 women escalated beyond words. Police arrived, Marcus was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and obstruction. The charges were eventually reduced, the incident filed away as another youthful indiscretion, but the pattern was forming, visible to anyone paying attention. By 2021, Marcus had launched Trophy Room, a sneaker boutique trading heavily on his father's brand. That year, accusations surfaced that he was backdooring limited edition Air Jordan 1 sneakers to resellers, allowing them to purchase pairs before the official release and flip them for $1,000 or more. The sneaker community erupted. This wasn't just about business ethics, it was about using the Jordan name to facilitate what looked like fraud. Marcus denied everything, but offered no proof to counter the allegations. The stain on the Jordan brand, built on decades of meticulous image control, was undeniable. Then came Larsa Pippen. In late 2022, rumors began circulating. By January 2023, it was confirmed. Marcus Jordan was dating Larsa Pippen, the ex-wife of his father's former teammate, Scottie Pippen. The 16-year age gap was controversial enough, but the real issue was the history. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen's relationship had deteriorated over the years, their feud well documented and bitter. For Marcus to pursue a relationship with Scottie's ex-wife felt, to many, like a profound betrayal. Michael Jordan reportedly disapproved. The relationship ended in July 2024, but the damage to both families' reputations lingered. That same year, during the Paris Olympics, photos emerged of Marcus appearing to snort a white substance. Speculation ran rampant. Was it cocaine? No arrests were made, no official confirmations issued, but the implication alone was enough to fuel rumors of substance abuse. Then came February 4th, 2025.
I'm Michael Jordan's son. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just trying to get home.
Marcus Jordan's Lamborghini was stuck on railroad tracks in Florida. When police arrived, they observed signs of intoxication. A search uncovered cocaine. Marcus was arrested and charged with DUI, cocaine possession, and resisting arrest. The legal consequences were significant: enrollment in a substance abuse pretrial program, mandatory apology letters, but the reputational damage was catastrophic. Michael Jordan, the man who built a billion-dollar empire on control, discipline, and excellence, was now publicly viewed by many as a failed parent. His son's repeated failures had become inseparable from his own legacy. LeBron James has spent his entire career chasing greatness, determined to be mentioned in the same breath as Michael Jordan. He's built an empire, not just through basketball, but through carefully cultivated public image and business acumen. And at the center of his vision for the future was his son, Bronny. Bronny James was born into expectations few people can imagine. He wasn't just LeBron's son, he was the heir, the one expected to carry the name forward. He played at Sierra Canyon School, posting respectable numbers his senior year: 14.1 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2.4 assists per game. He was rated a 4-star recruit and committed to USC. The future looked bright. Then, on July 24th, 2023, everything changed. During a workout at USC, Bronny collapsed. Cardiac arrest. The diagnosis was chilling: an anomalous coronary artery. He underwent surgery, fighting for his health in a way that put basketball into sharp perspective. By December 2023, he was cleared to return, but the scare had shaken everyone who witnessed it. In 2024, Bronny entered the NBA draft. The Lakers selected him 55th overall. His stats at USC were modest: 4.8 points, 2.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists per game. The criticism was immediate and fierce. Accusations of nepotism flooded social media. Kwame Brown, never one to hold back, publicly eviscerated the pick. The implication was clear: Bronny James was only in the NBA because of his last name. His early performance didn't help. In his preseason debut, he shot 1 for 12. Defensive lapses were highlighted in every game recap. Online, he was mocked relentlessly, with some labeling him the worst player in the NBA. It was cruel. It was probably unfair, but it was also the reality of being LeBron James's son. Off the court, scrutiny intensified. Prom photos sparked racist backlash online. In November 2025, allegations surfaced via social media that Bronny had been unfaithful. Accusations spread through leaked DMs. The claims went viral, though they were never proven. Truth didn't matter. The narrative had already formed. Critics turned on LeBron himself, accusing him of forcing the Lakers to draft his son, of prioritizing personal legacy over team success. Public clashes with analysts like Stephen A. Smith made headlines.
LeBron James rolled over on me and basically started speaking to me, getting in my face about stop effing with my son. That's my effing son. Stop effing with my son. And that was about the size of it. He didn't give me much of a chance to speak. to respond.
LeBron was painted as overprotective, a father who couldn't accept his son's limitations. LeBron's response was defiant. He called playing alongside Bronny his greatest achievement, a moment of personal fulfillment that transcended basketball. Bronny, for his part, has embraced the criticism, framing it as part of his development. But the damage is done. LeBron's legacy, once untouchable, is now tied to questions about whether he hurt his son's future by pushing him into a spotlight he wasn't ready for. Not every story follows the same script. Scottie Pippen Jr., born November 10th, 2000, is the eldest surviving son of Scottie Pippen. His personal record is clean, no arrests, no scandals. He played at Sierra Canyon, then Vanderbilt from 2019 to 2022, posting solid numbers. He went undrafted in 2022, but didn't give up. He played for the Lakers, then found a home with the Grizzlies, where he posted career highs in the 2024-25 season. He's even recorded NBA triple-doubles, echoing his father's all-around brilliance. But even a clean record couldn't shield him from controversy. In 2020, his mother, Larsa Pippen, was photographed with Malik Beasley, a married NBA player. Divorce followed. Scottie Jr. had nothing to do with it. He was an innocent bystander. But he received backlash anyway. Guilt by association. Being a famous son meant that even scandals that had nothing to do with him could damage his reputation. He's publicly addressed the burden of carrying his father's name, the weight of expectations and judgment that comes with it. Larsa herself later admitted that her fame negatively affects her son, a rare moment of acknowledgement in a world where celebrity parents rarely concede such things. Scottie Pippen Jr. has fought to build his own legacy, separate from his father's, separate from the noise. And he's succeeding, but the shadow remains. Shareef O'Neal's story is one of promise derailed, not by scandal, but by circumstances beyond his control. Born January 11th, 2000, Shareef was a 5-star recruit, one of the most highly touted prospects in the country. He initially committed to Arizona, then the FBI's college basketball bribery investigation exploded, implicating Arizona among other programs. Shareef reopened his recruitment and committed to UCLA, a decision that could have been framed as scandal-related, but actually demonstrated maturity and careful decision-making. Then came the health crisis. In December 2018, Shareef underwent open-heart surgery. He missed his entire freshman season. His dreams put on hold while he fought to recover. He eventually transferred to LSU, but injuries continued to limit his production. The career that once seemed destined for NBA stardom never materialized. In 2024, a story circulated that Shareef had almost been arrested for driving shirtless. The media ran with it, sensationalizing a minor anecdote into something more sinister. The truth was far more mundane. No police stop even occurred. But the narrative had been set. Shareef O'Neal, son of Shaquille O'Neal, troublemaker. It was grossly unfair. Shareef's record is clean. His career was derailed by health issues, not poor choices. But sensational headlines don't care about fairness. They care about clicks. And the damage to his reputation, however undeserved, was real. Gary Payton II has walked a different path than most. Born December 1st, 1992, he went undrafted in 2016. He spent years grinding through the G League, fighting for every opportunity. In 2022, he became a key contributor to the Warriors' championship run, proving himself on the biggest stage. He had earned his place, then came controversy. In 2023, the Warriors accused the Trailblazers of hiding injury information related to Gary Payton II during trade negotiations, specifically regarding Toradol usage. The league reviewed the situation. The trade was ultimately finalized, but the dispute left questions hanging. Rumors swirled about locker room issues in Portland, allegations of negative vibes. A viral clip of an argument circulated online. Nothing was confirmed, but perception is often more powerful than reality. In 2025, social media exploded with claims that Gary Payton II was under NBA investigation for gambling. ESPN and other major outlets reported nothing. The claims appeared unsubstantiated, but they spread anyway, the way all rumors do in the digital age. For the most part, Gary Payton II's reputation remains positive. He's added to his father's legacy rather than diminished it, but even he can't fully escape the hesitation that comes with being a famous son, the lingering doubts that rumors create, however baseless they might be. Fame is a gift and a curse. For the sons of NBA legends, it's a weight that never fully lifts, expectations that can't be met, scrutiny that never relents, mistakes that become national headlines. Some, like Marcus Jordan and Connor Bird, made choices that actively damaged their father's legacies. Others, like Bronny James, are caught in circumstances partly beyond their control, victims of impossible expectations and parental ambition. And still others, like Shareef O'Neal O'Neal and Gary Payton II have largely clean records but can't escape the shadow of their names. The truth is complicated. Legacy isn't just what you build, it's what gets built on top of it, by people you can't control. And for these NBA legends, their names will forever be tied not just to their own achievements, but to the choices of their sons. If you found this story compelling, make sure to like this video, and click on the suggested videos for more deep dives into the lives behind the legends.